objectives and expect the hostiles to fall back. Push them from each sector until they have nowhere else to run.
Alright, boys.
Running insect protocol. I got it.
He's done. Did somebody snipe that man? That whoever did that deserves a medal, an award of some sort. Perhaps even a gift. Ah, yes, the casual DM7.
Forces targeting Alpha 1.
Stay away!
Now, I expect some performance issues because I'm streaming. But when I'm playing, it's pretty fun. It's pretty much fine. But we'll see, boys. The game is beautiful, by the way. And I actually enjoy it. I know there's a lot of critiques going on. There's a lot of critiques going on because the game is a bit unpolished. And I want to emphasize that is very important. Is the game is very unpolished. In fact, it's a little much unpolished sometimes. That was just an enemy, by the way. A little much unpolished, in my opinion. There's a lot of glaring issues that probably shouldn't be existing, but they do. And I get that, but I do think the community is a little bit. I hate to use the term harsh, but they expect patches for games to be done like instantly. And we're talking about like instantaneously.
US troops assaulting one of our
Right now, the SVK and the PP-29 are about probably the most prominently used weapons in the game. The DM7 is really highly used, but I think the DM7 is pretty balanced. Pretty balanced in my opinion. 3-shot kill, probably 2 or 1. I don't think it's 1 hit in the head, but 3-shot kill. And I honestly think that it's not that bad. But the SVK, it does create a problem. I understand the balance is that it's only at 6 rounds. But in my opinion, that's still not like an excuse. 2-shot, like, it should at least have some range fall off, because I feel like 2-shotting even at a distance. I died to so many people just running the Raven sight and an SVK and just like laying down on top of roofs or crates, depending on if you're on manifest. But it's so freaking common, and it's becoming really annoying to deal with. I also know the PP-29 is like blatantly overpowered. But that's kind of expected right now, and that's already getting dealt with. So, but I really encourage everyone who plays to really experiment with other weaponry. This gun, the PKP, is a machine if you end up using it. But that's only if. But
Our troops are striking Alpha 2.
But I do think that it's a little blown out of proportion. The ARs aren't as bad as everyone says they are. If you see, I got killed by the AK-24.
Stay back!
But what really sparked a lot of this debate was the SFAR GL. And I understand that gun in particular has. It seems that it has the most bloom out of all of the ARs, which, don't get me wrong, is problematic. But I actually see it a lot, and it's not necessarily a bad gun. It's just right now it's practically unusable with the bloom.
We're losing resources.
Not even practical. It just is unusable because of the bloom. And so it creates problems. But so I get it. But I have to say that, like, personally, like I said, I just haven't been like annoyed with any of this. So I think part of it is because I'm experienced with Battlefield. I know that Battlefield 4 had a launch that was questionable at best, and what was arguably well, I don't even think arguably, I think it was worse than this, but still, I don't know. I don't think that it's a terrible game, but when it's fun, it's really fun. And whenever there's certain problems, I understand. There is a bit of an excessive. There is a bit of excessive, you know, aspects of the game that do make me question a lot. I know there's a lot of rubber banding that was going on, but they're working on it. And I just think that, like, people also forget that sometimes this game was made in a pandemic, but I do understand. That's not saying that the criticisms aren't fit, or that they don't belong. They're criticisms that belong, and they are reasonable, but the response time can't be instant. Like that, like me being a boomer and not saying that, dude. But the response time can't be instant, and I don't know why people expect it to be. The game is gonna get patched. People act like it's not. And yeah, so that's just my thoughts on that. But now, personally, I want a thing just for a quality of life aspect. I want them to patch in something for blocking that fucking. Make it so I can actually see when I'm aiming down sights, looking at people hidden behind objectives. Because when they're hidden behind those objective markers, and it's also revive markers, these things and the revive markers take priority in sights, which doesn't make any sense. The blue dots don't bother me because they're not big, but these markers are bigger than every other thing in the game, and players can easily crouch or even be standing at a distance and you won't be able to see them because of this marker. I don't know if there's anything to make them more transparent, but still, it's just a preference thing. I'd really only prefer it when I'm aiming down sights. And as for the operators go, the operators, in my opinion, I have a really, I guess, based opinion at this point, because I actually believe that the operators work better in this game than the class system would if it was in the game. And that may be based, but I don't think I think that, like, as long as you know what every operator is doing, you'll be fine. I do think that some operators right now really need to get buffed. They are just severely underpowered. And I think Rao is a great example of that. The risk for Rao's hack is just outweighed superiorly by, like, the lack thereof reward. Rao's hack takes about 5 seconds to execute on players and vehicles, it seems. I don't know if it's increased on vehicles, but... Or no, I think it is increased on vehicles, but it takes about 5 seconds to hack a player. Which is fine if the reward was there. If when you hacked a player, you were rewarded for committing that time. But at the current state of the game, you're not really rewarded for that effort you put in to commit the hack. You really only get, like, hurt because you can pull the hack off, and when you do, it doesn't really benefit at you or anybody. Oh, hey, Dozer. Oh, cool. I love getting one shot by your shield. I also couldn't shoot there for a second. I mean, That man's got the rubber bands. But it creates this weird dynamic where it's actually harmful for you to hack players. I tried for several hours the other day to really hack players and get an understanding of like how it would be effective. So mostly what you're going to be doing if you're going to play a lot of RAW is this right now. Hacking the vehicles and such, which he's great at. He's a great anti-vehicle unit. But that's the issue, is that it's not really, he doesn't reward you for even trying to attempt. I don't actually know if he can shoot to the glass in them, but he doesn't even reward you for trying to attempt to hack players, because it just, you're gonna die, and that's the big issue, is that you'll die trying to hack a player. It's 5 seconds for, it seems like 3 to 5 seconds for a play for an intel, which is not much in the long scheme of things. In the long term of things, like 3 to 5 seconds on players, and that's including the visibility through walls, by the way. I've killed players who were hacked and then immediately lost a hack. I personally think the best buff to him would be just to increase. I think hacking players should be extremely fast, like 1-2 seconds. Hacking players should take about 1 to 2 seconds. Okay. That was poor aim on my part, but it's fine. I think hacking players should take about 1 to 2 seconds, and the reveal time could stay the same. For the 5 seconds that they're revealed, that would be fine. Because in my opinion, that's at least you're getting your rewards for your risk that you're putting in. Because realistically, we're talking about an FPS game here. And 1 to 2 seconds in an FPS game is actually generally enough time for you to die. You could die very quickly by somebody sniping you. You could get shot. You could get instant kill by a tank. They could already be aiming and kill you before you can even commit the hack. So there's a lot of factors that go into making this like a shorter thing. Personally, that would be fine if the vehicles stay where they are now, because it's understandable that the vehicles take as long as they do to hack, because it's, you know, you're really like fucking with the vehicle when you do that, and it kind of like just leaves them open to being able to, they can't do much. So the vehicle, I don't mind, but I think that did they go in there? That's my bad. The vehicle is not bad, but the fucking what's it called? Player hack is just way too long. And then everybody else doesn't seem that bad. Some of them are very niche operators that specialists that you're really only gonna play if you either like them, like their ability, or just want to do some fun stuff with them. Casper, you can send out C4, C5 drones, and I actually think they should keep that in the game, to be honest. It's really not even overpowered. It's more funny than it is anything. Angel is strong, but I feel like people are just like overly proportionalizing Angel. They say he's going to be the best operator no matter what, but I don't really think that's the case. He's very strong, but I don't think he's going to be the best operator in the game no matter what. Falk is good too. I mean, like, they both fulfill different roles. I don't think players get that, the idea of what's kind of go on there. It's a balance game, and there's a reason to play Falk over Angel. And it's pretty simple. Falk is meant to be like the medic from previous games, actually even stronger, and Angel is meant to be like the support character. And I feel like a lot of people disregard that. Like, they want the classic roles to come back, but they don't want to acknowledge the classic rules. Lay down, Nala. After this, I'll have to be right back. I think she is. Lay down. But people don't want to play the game by the classic standards, which sucks, because I really don't think the specialists in any way are broken. They're very much a working thing, and it makes sense. Let me look at all of them, make sure I'm thinking of all of them. Okay, yeah. And none of them are, in my opinion, overpowered. They might be a little overplayed. Like Paul, people think that she's gonna be busted, but she's really not. She's really limited. And a lot of times she dies before she even performs her ability. But everybody else, in my opinion, is just kind of like, all right. I'm not even gonna worry about fucking surviving it. Everybody else is just all right.
We have secured the sector. One of our objectives is under attack.
Tossing grenade!
And like, oh, I should have just C5 that. I would have got 3 kills. That's my bad. Like, you see a lot of him, which I call Woody, because he kind of looks like Woody from Toy Story. But you see a lot of McKays, which, I mean, you saw a lot of McKay anyways. But yeah, it's really not that bad. I feel like some operators could probably just be specialists, could just be like minorly buff. This guy, Rao, that I'm playing, Rao just needs to be increased in general. I mean, I don't like playing that. The only thing I'm doing is this. It's cool if you have a friend that's like flying in a helicopter, because then you can just like help him get the heli down. But it's not fun when the only thing you're doing is sitting, hacking, but then not getting your benefit, because they kind of advertise him as like an intel gatherer. Kind of like Casper, but he does it by hacking. But it's not really what's going on here. And I think that's a missed opportunity. There's a lot of bugs as well. There's right now the current big bug that I have to deal with a lot is the permadeath bug right now.
Hostile down!
The permadeath bug, that shit's like insane. It's rampant. If you can catch it before you die, you're golden. But if you don't, you're just gonna have to do it. You just have to leave the game. The way you catch it before you die, if it does happen to you, is you have to redeploy. You have to crouch. You have to find, if you can even get crouched. Sometimes it doesn't even let you get crouched. But if you get stuck being crouched, just quickly like make sure that you, as soon as you can, hit escape and then redeploy, or start and redeploy, or else you'll be stuck with it. I think it's like a set of movements that causes this bug, but I'm a little unsure at the current time. The hovercrafts are really strong right now. But other than that, like vehicles, to me though, vehicles will always be overpowered. I don't know why people complain about that. Those things are always OP. Every Battlefield I think I've ever played has been, the vehicles have been broken, so my aim was just bad. So, I mean, I don't know what people expect. I do think they're a little strong, especially in Breakthrough. I will say, I'm not saying like they're not good, like they shouldn't be strong, but they are a bit excessive in Breakthrough, especially the Nightbird. The Nightbird in Breakthrough is just very unfun. play against. Especially since now, like, the bullets make you pull back. They actually move your character. I feel like one of the things they really missed out on Rao was really emphasizing the hack feature that he has. So, enemy rangers, if you hack, I feel like if you hack an enemy ranger, it should become yours. And if you hack a Boris turret, it should become yours. But I don't mean permanently when I say this, I mean like temporarily become yours. I feel like they really missed the bullet there. That would have been really interesting, and it created a lot of outplay potential.
We have secured an objective.
But you know, we didn't do that. Things seem to be taking a lot of rockets right now. So if you're really wanting to go like anti-vehicle, I highly recommend that you play with C5 instead. Things are taking. It seems like tanks take like 4 rockets. They probably take 3 like they normally should, but it seems like it's a lot right now, and it probably should be a lot. I can barely see that guy.
Grenade out!
Motherfucker threw a fire nade on me.
Reloading!
You are gonna encounter players who are extremely high level. I've encountered one level 60, but he was on my team. And I've encountered mostly a lot of players who are in the 30s to 40s. Which is kind of scary for people that are just gonna be playing, are just gonna be having the game here soon. That's my bad. Because there's gonna be a lot of new players coming into the game, and it's kind of scary to think about the fact that they're gonna be going against 60s and 50s, and probably when they get on like 70s. It's not hard to level, to be fair and frank.
Uploading Trojan!
But
Got something!
don't you fucking ditch your vehicle, bitch. Okay, well, if you're playing Sundance, there's not much I can do against that. The grenade indicators are very, very, very faint. In fact, sometimes I run from my own nades, or from my teammates' nades, because I think that they're my own. There are some bugs that you're probably gonna encounter, and they're pretty simple bugs, to be honest. You'll encounter a bug when I don't know if the bug where you get out of the one of the bugs I'm about to talk about is still in the game. But you'll encounter a bug when you get out of vehicles where you don't have a sprint animation. It doesn't negatively affect you. I mean, to be fair though, it's not gonna negatively affect you. But if it bothers you, the simple way to fix it is just swap to your gadget, swap back. If you encounter the bug where you get out of the vehicle and you can't aim, I have found no way to fix that. And I really don't know if there is a way. Also, if you're in a vehicle, don't deploy your smokes if you're being RAW hacked. It tells you if you are, and to be honest, all you're doing is you're just deploying countermeasures for something that's not even going to affect you. Besides not being able to shoot your guns, just play according to that. If I had a really one big tip I could give players, new players that will be coming in on Friday, pick your specialist based on what you want to do. So if you like sniping, you don't really want to be playing Boris, in my opinion. You're not really gonna find a lot of success. And he's not really made for that, to be honest. He's just kind of, he's more of a different kind of operator. Okay, I thought I was pretty sure I was shooting at him, but I guess the balloon was crazy. He's a different kind of operator. He's not really, if you're trying to snipe, then you should be looking more into fragging operators who are meant to just pop off. So I'd be looking at more like Sundance. When you get a McKay, he'll let you get into a lot of interesting positions perform a lot of more suitable maneuvers for where you probably want to be as a sniper. So
Accessing the terminal.
why the fuck did you have to shoot your grenade launcher at him, Paul? I was trying to hack him so that we didn't have to worry about that. Anyways, don't play like Boris. Play if you're gonna snipe, you wanna play the operator for you. Now if you're gonna like, depending on like really what you wanna do, if you wanna get really into the nitty gritty of things, you're gonna be looking into like characters that have suitable features for like what you're doing.
US forces are in disarray. Take the advantage. You're very close. Seize the sector. We are very close. Seize the sector.
Anyways, if you're gonna play like an engineer, or you want to play like anti-vehicle, you probably want to find operators, or you want to play specialists who are more catered to that. Sundance is really good. And RAL, depending on what vehicles you're trying to take down. I will warn you that air vehicles are rampant, and they are very strong. It's not a bad thing. I think air vehicles should be strong, but I think that sometimes they're a little more oppressive than they need to be. So just a heads up. But it's pretty simple to pick your operator that you're really focusing on. So
Site secure. Thank you. No
yeah,
rants. This debt will be paid.
I just think it's very important. It's very crucial that you play that role of pick your operator for you. But most times you're gonna be fine.
Keep you sharp.
Most times you're just gonna be fine.
Enjoy this moment.
Just pick an operator for whatever. Just if you're playing assault,
Doubts in my mind.
play whoever. If you want XP, play Falk or Angel. Yeah, it just really depends, honestly. Not a whole lot of big tips I can give. A lot of it you guys and like general people already know for Battlefield anyways. But I don't know. And if you want a really big, a good idea, try to avoid using the PP29. At least right now. I know it's the meta, and I know that it's like everybody's gonna tell you that right now it's the best gun. But in my opinion, the reason I don't want to use it
I'm ready if you are.
is it's gonna get nerfed, and I feel like if I'm using that gun, and then it gets nerfed, and it becomes a completely different gun, a lot of people are gonna be out of a gun. They're not gonna know what gun to go to. A lot of them are gonna go to ARs probably because that's what most people are gonna end up using. But they're gonna be out of a gun, and they're gonna be lost, and they're not gonna know what to do. And they're gonna be like, I don't, why do they have to nerf this gun? And they're gonna have this whole spiel of, you know, why, when it got nerfed. But it's not that bad. There's plenty of guns in this game that are good. If you want to give it off, I don't think the MP9 or the PBX is bad at all. The M5A3 is pretty good. This gun is kind of slept on. If the servers aren't lagging and you can hit your burst, it's insane. The PKP is very good. All the DMRs are acceptable. I'm probably gonna get a loading error. I figured. I need to let her out anyways. All the DMRs are extremely acceptable. And all the snipers are a lot of
I'm
fun.
ready if you are.
So I highly recommend them. But